Yo, what is up everyone? Welcome to my first ever recap. Today I'll be recapping the two trades I took on Friday, July 24th. So let's get right into it. I'd first like to begin with the weekly framework, right? So previous week reversed and expanded into like a very high time frame relevant level, which was this monthly gap. Typically when you interact these sorts of high time frame levels, you can expect like a larger wick. Because you're not just gonna rip straight through them, you're typically gonna get a new phase of price. So yeah, and even especially when you have such spaced out SMT, right? You're not just gonna rip through. You're at least gonna get something like a consolidation or retracement, things of that nature. So the week opened. It opened right here, and as you can see, you could also expect the large wick because the only refined relevant key level is this gap, right? It's also like a daily inside bar, so it's like a consolidation high, but it's also a daily gap, so it's just more likely to create that larger wick, which we do end up getting, right? And NQ traded into this gap on Tuesday, and ES did on Wednesday, along with YM. So once YM broke this SMT, YM took this gap high, essentially as the lagging asset. We got a daily SMT sequence, right? Two-stage PSP to send price lower. So I would deem this to be like a very relevant, a true reversal. Also because of like the phase of price, not only like the delivery off a key level, but also the phase of price. It's a pretty nice expansion, right? So seeing that, right? If you look on the daily, this is previous week's low, right? You have a large wick, so you're unlikely to expand past this low, right? Which is previous week's low, and we actually end up edging it on NQ. We created SMT. Now, a decent amount of people I know, or I've seen people like long this, which is pretty stupid, in my opinion, because all axis expanded. They expanded from a relevant level, relevant reversal with the two-stage, right? And as you can see, YM and ES actually expanded past this low. They printed a failure to manipulate a signature below this low because how do you want manipulation to look like? You want a pretty shallow run, right? And you want it to be expansion in and out, which prints that reversal signature. But here you do not get it. What do you actually get? You end up getting a 4-hour inside bar. A consolidation is a continuation signature. It's not a reversal by any means. So seeing this, right, on NQ, I was one-sided bearish. Narrative on Friday was so one-sided, at least for me, and I wanted this low taken. So that was my first like idea for the day. And once the day opened up, I'll actually mark it out real quick. The day opened up. It kind of opened up with a consolidation, so I always demand a manipulation of some sort of relevant key level to just trade it lower. And there were no clean like internal highs, so your only option was to wait for the external range extremes. So you wait, right? And actually right here, there's relative equal lows with previous day's low, which is pretty nice. Nice to see when you're bearish. And then we actually expanded and created an advanced premium and discount sequence right here with ES. So advanced premium and discount with between NQ and ES is actually even more high probable because NQ and ES are typically more synced than NQ and YM. However, we did get that, and this was actually APD in the form of a strength switch because NQ didn't take out this low. It was previously more bullish, and now it's more bearish. It's switching to the weaker asset to catch up to this low, which is just so juicy to see. Like good narrative with the advanced premium discount sequence and all of that is just great. So I marked this out as an advanced premium discount sequence in the form of strength switch, and when you have that, when the SMT, the higher time frame one stage SMT is in the form of a strength switch, you do not need to confirm a strength switch with a strength switch, right? Most of the times you don't even need a strength switch. It's just I prefer them, and I typically trade with them. But in this case, where this whole SMT was a strength switch, I just waited for a two-stage. So the variants were either a nice closure or PSP and SMT, or simply a consecutive candle SMT between these 30-minute candles, which I just then dropped down to the lower time frame. I think it was on the 3-minute. Yeah, it was on a 3-minute. And I just saw this CSD, right? I just saw this CSD, and yeah, I was ready to take it because it was a pretty decent V shape, right? If you even look like on ES, you got this nice little sweep, and then eventually you get that CSD. On NQ, you get it earlier, right? NQ is still the weakest asset, which is good. I do not want it to switch to the stronger asset. Since I'm trading asset sync, right? So I just executed like right here, and I put my stop somewhere around here, and my TP was at this low, or even at the like high time frame low. I was satisfied with this. Didn't like need those extra few points. I felt like previous day's low was just even more guaranteed, so I just had my TP set there, which already is like 10 hour, so no need to complain there. Once I entered this trade, I think once I got this, I went break in because I wasn't like too satisfied with how the trade was how price was moving away, right? And you do like tap EQ and then get a propulsion block. So like this trail is probably valid, right? To trail your stop loss to here. So I went break even, and after that we ended up expanding quite a bit till here. And once I saw like, oh, this gap is getting disrespected, it's looking pretty nice. I thought like, oh, bet this is looking like it has potential to hit, and essentially forming London high of day. But we just ended up reversing, stopping me out of break even, which was unfortunate. But the trade was valid. Like the trade was actually pretty nice. I like the setup a lot, and so yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. Essentially, it's just that London is just even lately like even less probable than it actually was before. But yeah, New York is, with this type of price action, New York is way better to trade, like objectively. So I waited for a new no, this was the sequence, right? The sequence was that YM failed to manipulate this high, and then ES broke that S&T, and then we got the S&T sequence, which also was looking pretty nice on like the 6 hour or something, right? Bro, let it load, please. Yeah, right, the 6 hour, it was like this consolidation kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't that clean. But yeah, just S&T break, middle asset at current high of day. That was the like sequence, and it was in the form of APD, so like it was pretty decent, right? The only thing that was not nice was why I'm just not being anywhere near something like relevant. But yeah, that's just too much to ask for. So I then waited till New York open, and here I was like one-sided bearish, even though this S&T is super trash, just straight up, because like we formed it here. No, the S&T actually was formed somewhere here, and then you just not manipulating, and you just start expanding off nowhere, essentially here. But I mean, you do show some like you do expand, which validates the reversal, but that's why I couldn't trade the reversal, simply because it was just ugly, right? Like this is bad. This S&T is high time frame S&T is terrible. ES also left equal highs with this 4 hour. Like there's how many inside bars? Like 4 inside bars. And yeah, the reversal was chopped, so I just didn't trade it. And the only idea left for today, like the valid idea, was either trading shorts to this low, which I saw a lot of people took from this 30-minute gap, this gap fill, which is great, but I just didn't take it. I wasn't fucking with it because of the pretty ugly reversal. What you end up getting after is actually pretty interesting. So if you look at the daily profile, you don't establish that good of a high of day, right? We talked about this, like ES leaving like almost equal highs, stuff like that. And also, if you look at the weekly, especially on IQ, the weekly wick is already huge, and this is the only relevant level in close proximity to price. So if you're gonna get a reaction, which you most likely are because of the large wick, it can expand very far past the open, then it's gonna be right here, right? So this is your like refined key level, essentially, and you're trading New York reversal, or even a New York manipulation profile. I don't know, because like the previous two sessions pretty much consolidated. And here you get a sequence. You get a 30-minute PSP, right? If you look at YM, you get a 30-minute PSP, and then immediately at 10 a.m. you get a 2-stage right here. And there's also SMT here. So there's a higher time frame SMT at the key level. It's pretty spaced out. It's with the relevant level. Middle asset again, ES broke current low of day, or is it? Yeah, it's current low of day, which is sort of like a delayed protraction, but the profile supports it. That's like one thing for sure. It doesn't matter if it's like a consolidation profile or a delayed protraction profile. I just saw this, right? Where's low of day? Right here's low of day. SMT with this, and then a PSP, and then even here, right at 10 a.m. Since you have the 2-stage, right, you don't need to wait for a closure. And you just have to confirm that 10 a.m. has a small enough wick, which it definitely does, right? And now let's look at the V shape. I was here, like watching price right here, and since on the 3-minute the CSD is way up here, and the 5-minute so it just doesn't make sense, right? So I just used the 1-minute, or even 2-minute could have been good. I haven't looked at it really. 2-minute is also pretty ugly, so I just used this, right? It's a bulky enough opposing candle, and you're running out this slope like pretty nicely, and you're printing that V shape. So I just set my limit on this gap, stops were here, and since it's made out of like mostly body, right? So stops are here, and then TP was at this, which is essentially an S&T break with YM, but you don't need a strength switch because YM failed to manipulate that like very clearly a long time ago. So I just took yes because it's closer to the draw. It has a more clean and open draw than NQ, right? It's way closer. It printed that failure swing, so it's also way stronger. And also the V shape was a bit better on ES, so I just took the gap. I got tagged in here. Like here, I thought, okay, I'm getting cooked. This is probably gonna be an L, but then out of nowhere, just like ripped right here. So I obviously trailed. I even went break even here, to be honest. So I went break even here, and this like expansion was looking pretty nice. I thought it was gonna hit like almost certainly, because like I mean the trade is just so nice. The idea is like, in my opinion, very clean. But then we just end up coming back, tapping me, stopping me out at break even. However, this trade is just very clean in my opinion. I think a lot more people should have taken it, and it did end up delivering. It just the delivery was just terrible. Like there's absolutely zero need for stalling so badly right here. Like there's absolutely zero reason for like a 3 drive right here. You just don't want to see that. This is terrible, right? So yeah, but the draw was simple, and yeah, the trade was also clean.